Thank you, Mayor. First of all, each of you will find at your places a brand spanking new coffee mug. Please consider those as a Christmas memento from my family to you. I hope it helps to start off your Christmas season just on a nice note. And the card is our first effort at a family Christmas card. The kids are actually old enough this year for us to get through that process. It was kind of interesting, but I think it turned out really well, so I hope you enjoy them. I know we mostly enjoyed the process. You should have one, Deb. We'll take care of you.
This is Dave's.
I'll show you the picture.
Okay.
I've got a few left, so I'll see that you're taken care of. Anyway, enjoy. I know we enjoyed putting those things together. And now to presentations. As most of you know, our Civilian Employee of the Year for the Police Department was unable to attend our holiday dinner where we normally make these presentations. The mayor was kind enough to let me do that tonight and add that to the agenda. So with that, I'll kick it off. Gil Shapiro is hereby nominated as the Mission Police Department's Civilian Employee of the Year for 2010. During the year, Gil was tasked as one of the department's civilian traffic safety officers to tackle the recurring complaints of the handicap parking violations in the city's numerous apartment complexes, retail stores, along our business corridors and other locations. He carefully reviewed all the pertinent state laws and local ordinances pertaining to these special parking stalls, paying particular attention to rules for proper signage and other compliance issues, and then set about addressing the complaints. Gil conducted many educational stops all over the city, anywhere a handicapped parking stall was located, to talk to the business owners and responsible parties about their issues. He then began enforcement activities, starting with a grace period in which only warnings were given to help educate the parking public that an extra effort was being made by the police department to ensure that these spaces were available to those who needed them. Between his other jobs, his family, and attempting to enjoy a well-earned retirement, Gil has been kept very busy by both his traffic safety duties as well as his time as one of our municipal court bailiffs, a demanding job in and of itself. Through all of this, Gil has been unfailingly generous with his time. He willingly adapts his schedule to the needs of the department and never complains about the constant shifts in his days that public safety work often entails. Therefore, for his strong work ethic and dedication to improving the quality of life in our community, Gilbert O. Gil Shapiro is hereby recognized as the Mission Police Department's Civilian Employee of the Year for 2010. Gil. Congratulations. Thank you for your service.
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you for getting the old dog. Yeah.
Congratulations, Gil.
And I think you may have a guest here this evening.
Yes, I do have a guest. My significant other, sort of, Ann Tannenbaum.
Stand up, Ann.
Much appreciated. Good to work.
On November 10th, 2010, officers from several northeast cities responded to the call of a suicidal person on the Shawnee Mission Parkway Bridge over Roe. Upon the officers' arrival, they discovered a man on the bridge armed with a knife and demanding that the officers shoot him. Lieutenant Michael Flemming of the Fairway Police Department was first on the scene, and after quickly analyzing the situation, worked to open a dialogue with the distraught subject, while Mission Officer Dennis Davis prepared his special shotgun loaded with beanbag rounds and provided the first line of defense for Lieutenant Flemming during the negotiations, which required him to be prepared to interject himself to protect Lieutenant Flemming should the man become aggressive. Since to help foster an atmosphere of trust, Flemming was forced to leave his own weapon holstered. Officers from 6 different jurisdictions eventually arrived to help with the situation, which required the closing of Shawnee Mission Parkway and of Roe Boulevard, all during the evening rush hour. Although not specifically trained as a negotiator, Lieutenant Flemming, called upon his years of experience and calm demeanor, was able to establish a rapport with the men despite the presence of media crews and equipment and of other officers arriving to provide support. After a standoff of nearly 2 hours, during which time the subject alternated between brandishing the knife at officers and holding it to his own throat, Lieutenant Flemming was finally able to convince the man to drop the knife and surrender to him without further incident or injury. The Mission Police Department's awards policy reads as follows. The Distinguished Service Award may be issued to any member of the Mission PD who displays outstanding service by achieving success in a difficult police project, program, or situation. Such conduct must distinguish the departmental member or bring favorable recognition to the department by a high degree of professional accomplishment and/or initiative. The Police Department's award policy is also designed to provide a vehicle by which members of other law enforcement agencies may also be recognized in a similar fashion for their contributions to the welfare of our community. Therefore, for his peaceful resolution of this highly volatile and dangerous situation, which brought distinction to him and to his agency, and for demonstrating a high degree of professionalism, which significantly contributed to the safety of our community, Lieutenant Mike Flemming of the Fairway Police Department is hereby presented the Distinguished Service Award of the Mission PD. Further, for his role in providing Lieutenant Flemming the support needed for the successful outcome that was eventually achieved, and for his professionalism and willingness to place himself in harm's way, to provide that support, Officer Dennis Davis of the Mission Police Department is hereby awarded the Certificate of Commendation. Gentlemen. Swing around. Sure. Be careful of that thing. One more. Hello to the council. Accepting congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And let's see, Mike, you have a guest here this evening.
Yes, sir, I do. Chief Simmons from Fairway.
And you get to stand up there, Chief. And Dennis is on duty, so I don't think he's probably got a guest here. I don't think Tara made it, did she? No. Okay. And I want to compliment, again, not only to thank all of the agencies and to be on the record with that. It was quite a deal. Ben Hadley with our agency was the incident commander and did a tremendous job of coordinating through all of that confusion. I got there probably 30 or 45 minutes into it. He did an outstanding job on that, and I wanted to be sure I recognized Ben for his efforts. And last, but not least, on October 24th, 2010, officers of the Mission Police Department responded to an officer in trouble call on southbound I-35 at Antioch. Upon their arrival, officers learned that during a routine traffic stop conducted by the Kansas Highway Patrol, the woman driving the stopped vehicle had brandished a handgun at 2 troopers after exiting her car. As a consequence of her actions, she was shot and wounded by the troopers. Officers Jeremy Assaul and Brad Silliman relieved the involved troopers and took over first aid efforts to this injured subject. Before emergency medical technicians could arrive, the woman lost consciousness and no pulse or respirations could be detected. Officers Assaul, Silliman, and Bieberbach then initiated CPR while Sergeant Jay Fleer retrieved the AED from his patrol car and began the connection process. As he connected the paddles, the subject regained consciousness and was eventually transported to an area hospital where she is expected to recover and to face eventual charges of armed assault on the troopers. Therefore, for their quick thinking and effective response to this emergency situation, which has resulted in the saving of a human life, Officers Jeremy Assaul, Brad Silliman, and Matt Bieberbach are hereby awarded the Life Saving Award of the Mission Police Department. Additionally, for his overall management of the shooting scene and for his assistance to the officers during CPR efforts, Sergeant Jay Flair is hereby awarded the MPD Certificate of Commendation. Gentlemen.
Thank you.
And let's see, Matt, I think you have a guest here this evening.
Yeah, my girlfriend, Heather Bowman, in the back corner there.
Hello, Heather. You have to stand up. You know the drill. Jeremy, who do you have here?
I have my girlfriend Nicole here.
Nicole, you got to stand up. And just so you know, the captain and also the now retired superintendent of the Highway Patrol, Terry Maples, who's also a good friend, basically dropped a line, and I also got phone calls that also thanking us for the assistance. I will tell you that our officers stopped vehicles in that same area. There was no good reason why it wasn't one of our folks instead of the troopers. As I've always tried to emphasize to you in my time here, any day, any stop, any call, anything is possible. And our officers moved in, secured it, went to work on the so-called victim/suspect and stabilized it, and the troopers were very grateful. We also provided some lab services as well and some storage for her car. And so the detectives also need some recognition. I appreciate their efforts. And with that, that concludes my presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.